Guys, hello! We've just come on to give you a wee message about lockdown and about how it affects our mindset and how it affects us emotionally. But the most important thing is, today we have a very fab helper with us, my daughter. And we're going to explain today some of the reasons why it's very important to get a grip of your mental health, especially when we are talking about these guys, our children, and the impacts that lockdown, COVID-19 pandemic has on our younger people. We all know that 2020 has been a bit of a, don't we?
Bit of a letdown.
Bit of a letdown. So what we're doing here is we're doing nothing edited. I'll cut and clean up the video, but we're not going to say anything that is pre-planned. We've obviously discussed this as a family, and we want to give you a wee message that is based on the truth and the reality for us, and how we've sort of tried to overcome the negative impact of COVID-19 and the coronavirus, and how we've tackled it head on, sometimes really well, sometimes we've struggled, and we're going to get it from the horse's mouth. So
What?
I think there's the horse's mouth. So I don't think there's any better way than actually getting the truth and hearing from an 11-year-old about the effects. So, without further ado,
No, I don't know what to say.
well, that's the whole point. It's good that you don't know what to say, because it's not rehearsed. It's just raw feelings of how it's affected you, what we've done.
Can I
And-
say what I've been feeling through lockdown?
Yeah, and some advice to others and to other children who might want to listen to this. And this will hopefully give you some help, guys. So, without further ado,
One of the feelings that I've been feeling, and I feel like other people have been feeling this as well, is when you're trapped and you can't go. You feel like you can't go anywhere, but what you have to think about is that there is things that you can do other than the restrictions. You can go on your bike and have a good time on your bicycle. That's what me and my dad have been doing. Or you can just go for a walk, or an evening walk, or if you have a pet, like a dog, you can go for a walk with your dog. Nothing to stop you doing that. I don't know what else to say.
yeah, I think what Lydia is saying is that there's loads of options out with the restrictions to step up. It's our responsibility as parents to sort of step up and to realise and to be able to see where our children are struggling. Now, guys, the most important part of this is communication. We need to communicate. One of the lessons that we learned this morning as a family was, and this is the reason for coming on and doing this, one of the lessons was this morning is that my daughter said to me this morning, well, what did you say? Remember when we spoke, what did you say?
So, my mum was asking us if we had a good night's sleep last night, and most of us didn't. Me and Phoebe said yes, we did, but I said no, but I was crying for half the time. And my dad asked me why I was crying, and at the time I didn't want to. I said nothing, but it wasn't nothing. I was saying that it was I couldn't say it because it was hard to tell people and explain to people. And then once I actually told my dad, it made me way better, and it made me think of that it is fine, and that there's nothing wrong. It's just that happens, and it's the feeling that it's about lockdown and everything you're feeling.
Yeah.
And it's just and it just made me feel a lot better. And if it's better to let things out and tell someone instead of keeping to yourself and have all these feelings jumbled up in your head. That'll just make it worse and go and
Yeah, so overthinking even for children is one of these things that the thought process is going round a million miles an hour, and it's so important that we allow our children that free space to communicate, not just sort of saying to them, are you okay, really having focused time where you can actually listen. Because if these guys here are not getting heard, then they're going to bottle up the things inside, and it's going to make things way worse for them. And just to know that their voice has a meaning and has reason and is being heard is so important to their growth, especially when we're in tougher times. And what we were able to do was we were able to deconstruct how my daughter was feeling, and we were able to bring it to a place where we could reconcile that. So we could bring clarity into it, where the meaning was, where the purpose was, and what we do now as an action going forward, which is so important to create that positive action. Because remember, guys, doing things is simply doing things. It's not thinking about and procrastinating and milling them over in your head all the time, because they're thoughts, and these thoughts are going to come all the time. But when we've got something that's bottling up, that's making us, actually last night you were crying. So we were in that position this morning where we wanted to work out why, and we got there. And action and activity is so important to that. So what's our closing message, do you think?
Well, that always tell someone about what's going on instead of keeping it in your brain, and everything's gonna get jumbled up, and it'll just make, if you want to get it better, there's nothing better than just going to go telling someone, because the worst thing you can do is keep it jumbled up in your brain, and that'll just make it worse.
So kids, parents at home watching this video, don't let it get all jumbled up in the head. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Always tell someone.
Always tell someone. Right. It's
Don't
good
be afraid to let it out.
It's good to hug. It's good to high five. Bless you all. Bye bye and take care.
Bye.
Woo.